So a few months ago on ye olde Twitter, I posed a question. If you could have three cars, only three cars, but any three cars, forever, what would they be? And there are, of course, the obvious, well, Range Rover or Audi RS6, which, of course, we all need something like. And then people said, well, A911. But beyond that, there was a very specific model that came out with an awful lot of mentions, and that was the Ferrari 458 Speciale Aperta, which suggests people would like a supercar with a V8 engine, with exceptional handling, but also one in which the roof goes down. Well, this is that car's natural successor. It is the 488 Pista Spider. And the question is it still your dream car now that it comes with a turbocharged rather than naturally aspirated engine? So what have we got? Well, we've got much the same as you get in the 488 Pista Coupe, only with added sunshine on your shiny head.
And a slight weight penalty getting on for 100 kilos. The 488 Pista Spider gets an electrically folding hard roof that goes down rather quickly. It takes about 12 seconds.
But still, with it inevitably comes a weight penalty. Now, because the 488 Pista is 90 or so kilos lighter than the regular 488, you can think that this comes back towards the 488 Coupe's weight, but it's still lighter than both that and, of course, the 488 Spider. Get the same 710 horsepower engine that comes from the 488 Challenge race car, mated to a 7-speed twin-clutch transmission, which is one of the best twin clutches on the planet, absolutely no question. Carbon ceramic brakes are standard on all Ferraris, and you still get that quick steering, your bumpy road setting for the chassis, which puts the dampers in a slightly softer, more absorbent road mode for twisty roads like this. And it costs £250,000, and they're all sold anyway.
You also get an interior that is pretty much the same as that of the 488 Pista Coupe. So there's carbon fibre and Alcantara everywhere, as well as the same Manatino and steering wheel mounted indicators. You wouldn't know the difference, but for badging on the carpets and on the dashboard.
It is a last hurrah before the F8 Tributo arrives. So, what is it like? The innate character is absolutely intact. Remember, Pista stands for track, so it's the hardcore focused version of the 488, which doesn't necessarily sit comfortably with a Spider or a soft top. You want the extra rigidity in the body of the coupe, so inevitably when you take the roof off you lose some of that structural integrity, and then also you add weight and you add it high and you add it behind you, so it doesn't necessarily help the centre of gravity or the weight distribution.
Fortunately, there isn't too much weight being added, and this is a car that had poise to spare.
I last drove a 488 Pista Coupe about 3 weeks ago for a video against the McLaren 720S, which you can find elsewhere on this channel. And I preferred the Pista. And you can tell the difference, having had that sort of acquaintance between one and the other in fairly quick succession. You can feel the difference. This does feel a little bit heavier. It does feel like there's a little bit more roll. The responses of it are ever so slightly dulled and numbed as a result. And just when you go over some bad surfaces, you just occasionally feel a tiny little shimmy, get a little view in the rear view mirror of the background shifting, as this is not a car that's as stiff as the coupe, and because unlike, say, a McLaren, it does not have a carbon fibre tub, I suspect it is not as rigid as a McLaren Spider either, because you get in one of those and you can barely tell the difference between coupe and Spider. I think you can in here. How much does it matter? Well, not as much as you'd think. Look, if you really must have the best driver's Ferrari, this is not it. The coupe is it. But this is still really, really enjoyable. And the fact is, it's still got all the modes for the electronics to drive through, which give you varying degrees of slip. And the nice thing is that it all hooks up to an electronically controlled limited slip differential. So whereas a McLaren 570 or 720 Spider has brake, steer and other electronics, ultimately its differential is open and this one is not. It's not about outright speed, it's not about which sticky tyres you put on, it's not about lap times or anything like that, it's just simply about which one has just got that bit more engaging chassis, that bit more involvement. So I've got to say, if you want the ultimate roadster in mid-engined V8 form, you want a supercar which the top comes off, I think the 488 Pista is probably the benchmark. It's absolutely brilliant, it's absolutely fabulous, it rides well, it engages keenly, it steers brilliantly, it's really, really enjoyable. You may have just as much fun on regular roads in a normal 488 Spider. And actually you may get more glorious soundtrack to go with it if you stuck with a 458. But of the current selection of mid-engined folding roof supercars, be in no doubt, this is hilarious and it is the best. So if you like this sort of thing, please don't forget to like, subscribe. If you turn on notifications, you'll never miss one. We're here every week at least with reviews, news, comparisons, drag races, all kinds of car porny stuff.